Hello gentlemen, it's Gavetti here, back with another video. So in this video I just want to talk about, overcoming, any challenges, obstacles, hardships in your life because, you know what, you're going to struggle in life. Life is going to throw so many curveballs at you. Life ain't easy, I'll tell you that. So you have to be willing to prepare yourself for what life throws at you. Could be good, could be bad, but make sure you're ready to step up to the plate and hit it out the park. So for me personally, essentially, it was almost a year and 2 weeks now. Um, September 9th, 2023. I basically got into a near-death experience that really changed my life forever. Touched upon it a little bit in prior videos as to why, like, I started meditating, journaling, things of that nature. But essentially, I almost died that day. It's been, like I said, a year and 2 weeks, sorry. And when the 1 year anniversary came up 2 weeks ago, I kind of told my mom, I was like, I'm such in a better position, mentally, spiritually, emotionally than I was back then, prior to the crash. Prior to the crash, I'll be honest with you guys, I was a loose cannon. I just was acting irrational. I didn't have any care for anybody. It was kind of like I was all over the place. And I think me going through that experience, I think God put me in that experience for a reason. He wanted me to learn from it. I genuinely believe that because the way I was headed, it was not looking good. So I think overall there's a reason why that happened to me. It wasn't because I was speeding down a one-way, not a one-way, I was speeding on a roundabout and I got caught up and almost rammed into a MTA bus, basically a city bus. Here in New York City. For me personally, that experience was needed to happen. It needed for me to change the way I was living, the way I was thinking, the way I was doing, and it certainly did. And I'm grateful for that event because if not, I think I would have been on a crash course to, something even worse in my life. So, a little bit of a backstory. During the week, I felt a little bit off. Not just because of my shitty behavior and all that. I just felt a little off. I wasn't really on the best relationship with friends and family at that time, and I kind of was taking it out on myself and strangers, which is not what you want to do. Strangers have nothing to do with your problems. Your problems are yours only. So you taking it out on someone else is a fucked up thing to do. So learning from that experience really made me think differently. So essentially, throughout the week, I was feeling a little iffy. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew something was off. And then come day of September 9th, it's a Saturday, one of the best days of the week. Let's be honest, Saturday. Yeah, man, I'm still reliving the moment. But I woke up. Things were good. I went to the gym, did my normal routine. I think I ran that day too. And essentially, what had happened is I met up with my godmother, which is basically my aunt. Just a kind of like a second mother figure in my life. One of the best people, very successful. I met up with her at a restaurant early on in the day. And it's funny because we were talking, just, catching up, chit-chatting, how our life's going, how my career was going. And it's funny because I mentioned that I have an e-bike. Now, an e-bike is basically, it looks like a real motorcycle, but it's not like a scooter or anything, but it's electric. It's an electric e-bike, basically, but it looks like a real freaking motorcycle. So I basically told her about it, and I was like, I've never gotten into an accident, I'm always safe on it, yada, 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 saying all this nice stuff. And it just so happened to be a couple hours later when we were, going about our ways, that's when the crash happened. So it's funny to look back on it and really think I was saying all this good stuff like, oh, I'm a good driver, oh, I've never got into an accident, blah, blah, blah. And then day of, look what happens. And it just goes to show you life is very, very strange, very funny, very complicated. Like I said, I think there's a whole reason why I got into that accident. But I learned from it, and you have to learn from each and every wrongdoing and each and everything that goes on in your life. Because if you don't learn, then you're going to repeat the same mistakes. Um, so yeah, had a great day with her. Chit chat back and forth. Told her about the e-bike. Come home around 6 o'clock, and I think this should have been my wake-up call to stop. Uh, Basically, I left my house to actually go to my old neighborhood, which was only 15 minutes away, to buy weed, basically. And unfortunately, I didn't stop buying weed after the incident. I actually kept smoking it when I was freaking injured, and it kind of helped the pain a little bit. But regardless, I think that was also a wake-up call. But I've eventually stopped since then. But the whole reason why I left my house was to buy weed, which, looking back in hindsight, it's fucking stupid. Can definitely tell you I didn't buy it. I lucky to even make it out alive that day. But yeah, the craziest part about this story, and it wasn't just like me having throughout the week feeling off and then talking to my godmother about it, but when I was gonna leave my house, there's 3 ways you can leave where I live in Queens to get to Brooklyn, my old neighborhood in Brooklyn. There's 3 ways. I wasn't even thinking about the 3rd way because I barely take that way. But there's 2 ways that I could take. Kind of like a back road, which you go under a bridge, whatever, or the quickest way to get there, which is like go down one way, turn right, go down another, turn left, and you're basically in the neighborhood. And the whole time I was telling myself, go the quickest way, go the easiest way. And then the split-second decision when I leave my house, I say, no, let's go that way. And I think that was also another moment in the whole story where it was like really eye-opening, where it's like, if I would have went the other way, this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have changed my life. I wouldn't have gone through this traumatic experience. Injure my AC joint, which was a grade 2 separation. Thank God, nothing serious. I've fully recovered since then, but from time to time it still feels a little iffy. But yeah, left my house, split-second decision, made the decision to go that way. And I'll be honest with you, the whole ride I was speeding. I was reckless. I didn't have any regard for my own life. And it was crazy, man. Like, I was just speeding, going like 60, 50 down streets. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a path I normally take. But I was speeding to get to a place to buy a drug. Stupid. Fucking stupid. So essentially what had happened is I'm probably about like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to probably like 7 minutes to my destination. And I'm basically going, this is how, I'm right here on my bike, and the bus is coming this way. Now, be in mind, there's a cemetery. Another crazy thing is that there's a cemetery right here to the right of me. It's literally a cemetery. So just to put this whole story together, I almost died by a cemetery. Buried me probably right there. So I'm coming down this way. Sorry, I'm going like it's basically like kind of like a little bit of a loop. So the bus the whole time is coming down this way. I'm speeding. There's a stop sign right there, but I blow through the stop sign because I was just speeding. I didn't give a fuck, unfortunately. And basically the bus can't see me. So there's a cemetery. It's kind of like 10 foot, 11 feet elevated, like the wall. There's like a wall, so the bus can't see me the whole time. So I'm coming down, stop sign right here. I'm coming down 40, 50. The bus is coming this way. Don't stop. And then in the corner of my eye, I'm going like 40, 50 miles an hour. I see the bus. I slam gradually on the brakes because I didn't like fully slam because I would have just like fucking flipped over and like I would have gone through the windshield of the bus. I basically have to like skid the bike, like really turn the bike so I don't go like completely into the window of the bus. Somehow, some way, I like turn the bike, I fall on my side, and then I'm just like basically my skin is grating like cheese basically on a grater, just like with the concrete, and just it was a mess. Thank God I was wearing my helmet, but my helmet did pop off on my head. And I still look back on it, like, if I didn't have a helmet, I'm fucked. Like, my head, like, literally bounced off the concrete, and thank God I've always worn a helmet. I think it's stupid for you not to wear a helmet. If you're riding an e-bike or a motorcycle, bicycle, different story. Even then you should, but whatever. So yeah, man, I was speeding. I didn't stop at a one-way. The bus couldn't even see me, so it's not even his fault. It's all my fault. And yeah, you know what? I literally narrowly missed the bus. Basically, the brunt of my injuries was caused because of me falling and the bike literally falling on my leg, and then me hitting the concrete, and yeah, the bus was actually crazy enough, not even any damage, maybe a little side damage, which was crazy because I thought I would totally fuck the bus up. City would sue me. I'd be out of money. So yeah, there was a lot of things that I got away with that day. And the craziest part is that when it actually, after the accident happened, I got up and the adrenaline just kicked in. Like, I felt good. I mean, I feel good, but I was just so hyped up on adrenaline where I didn't realize, like, my leg was all busted up. Like, I still have a bone bruise to this day, which, it doesn't hurt, but it's like a bruise basically. So, it's noticeable. Yeah, my AC joint was fucked. Like, it was like huge bruise the next day. Like, and for next repeating weeks, like, it took me about like a month for me to fully recover from that accident, and which is crazy remarkable because I was in the bed for like the first 2-3 weeks. Like, I didn't go to the hospital until like day 7, day 8 because I was paranoid. I'm not gonna lie, looking back in hindsight, I shouldn't really have gone. All they did was give me an AC sleeve, and I had to pay like fucking, I think like $1,000. Thankfully, my medical insurance covered most of it at the time when I had my job. But I think I paid like $1,000 out of pocket, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I wanted to go to make sure, like, my leg wasn't internally bleeding because it was black and blue and looked really fucked up. The doctors said, like, are you stupid? Do you think you're Superman? Like, why why did you take 6-7 days to finally go? I was like, you know what? I was kind of worried, see how quickly I could recover. But yeah, the only thing they really diagnosed me with was the AC joint separation, grade 2. Grade 4, 5 would require surgery because that was a complete break, but it was only a partial break. They said only thing I need is a sling. It'll be all right. Wear it for a couple weeks. Wore it for a couple weeks. Over time, it got better. Now I'm always gonna have the scarring here, and there's a little bit of a bump, but over time, like, it's been a year and it's fully recovered since then. Like, I do hear cracks, when I move around, but nothing like severe pain. So just to sum it up, that was my near-death experience, and basically why I'm telling you this story is because you're gonna be given, things are gonna happen in your life where you wonder why it happened, and for a long time after, even when I was bedridden for a couple of days after, I was like, why did this happen to me? What was the purpose? And I truly think God put me in that situation. It's fucked up to say, a near-death experience for me to learn, change my ways, change my patterns of thinking, change my behavior, not just towards myself, but towards people around me. And I certainly did. Was a lot of deep reflection, wondering, like, why, how, who, what, if I would have done this differently, if I would have took this certain way, the first way of getting to my old neighborhood instead of the split-second decision to not, me talking about the e-bike, me being a good driver to my godmother early on in the day. There's a lot of questions I had, but ultimately it's just to realize, like, life is going to throw a lot of shit at you, and you got to be prepared for it, and just understand the lessons involved, and just cherish this one life you have, because it can be taken in an instant, whether it's your fault, like it was my fault that day, or it's someone else's fault. Like, we hear drunk drivers claim the lives of so many countless victims, innocent victims, that don't deserve to lose their life because of another person's actions. God forbid that day, what if I didn't go into the bus, but I was speeding down and I hit someone because I was, didn't give a fuck, and then I would have killed someone, God forbid, and then I would have to have that on my conscience. So you always just go through these things, transitions, events in your life, and just always have a mindset of, like, what is this teaching me? Why did I go through it? Because if you do, you'll learn, and you'll hopefully learn learn from it and never repeat those same mistakes again. And like I said, God works in mysterious ways. I'm lucky to be alive a year later and looking back on it like I'm in the best mental space possible in my life. I'm in the best physical shape of my life. So no complaints here at all. And we're just gonna keep living, keep striving, and keep surviving, and keep learning. That's what it's all about. So if you gentlemen have ever been into something serious, comment down below like that. Or if you have ever gone through an event, maybe not near-death life experience, but maybe a higher power, the universe, is trying to teach you something. Definitely feel free to share. But yeah, a little bit of a different video this topic, different topic this video, guys, because I just wanted to kind of have a one-to-one, heart-to-heart story, because this is big that happened in my life. Nothing else has ever happened in regards to like something like that. So it's not about finance, women, credit cards, budgeting, health, gym. It's really a one-on-one, a personal story that I wanted to share with you guys and see if maybe you've been through something similar. If not, an eye-opening event. But it's been Gavetti here, boys. Good day, gentlemen. Good day.